I know something that is going to cost me though, and that is that Rush is touring in 2026. I don't know if you've heard yet.
I've heard.
Yeah. We have, for everyone's, just a level set, Steve and I, other than me asking Steve if he was a Rush fan and wanted to talk about this in the show, we do not know one another's opinions on this. So I am we're all learning this together. I am very curious. And this is, by the way, we're recording this basically 24 hours after the announcement came out. So tickets haven't even gone on sale yet. So just now the stage is set. What are your thoughts on this, Steve?
I love the way they did this, the way they shot a video, Alex and Geddy, having this conversation and really very candidly talking about where they are in their lives and how they feel about the music and how they felt about kind of getting together and jamming. Just super honest and kind of like we were just talking about. What do you want to see in your favorite bands? That's what you want to see. We already celebrate the music. We already know it, but now we want to see how are these guys feeling right now? Neil died a couple of years ago, a few years ago.
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
It was 2020.
Oh,
it was
goodness.
it was the first bad thing that happened in 2020.
Oh boy,
in my opinion.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it was because it was January 10th that we found out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, the consensus was like nobody can replace Neil Peart. That's not going to happen. So that's it. Rush is done. So to see an announcement like this, it brought so much joy to an otherwise kind of dismal world right now, and just seeing it constantly on my newsfeed and seeing the announcement and then seeing people react to it, again, brought joy to me. I'm a huge Rush fan. I've seen him many times in concert, and I'm not certain that I'll go see it because they're not playing anywhere
near you.
Me.
Sure.
But they are playing at the Garden, so I thought maybe I could take a trip up to New York and go to the Garden. But good for this girl, Anika. I saw a couple videos of her playing drums. She's fantastic. And it just goes to show you, Dave, that you do well. You work on your craft. You get out there. You play with people as much as possible. You have fun. You never know what could happen.
You don't. That's the thing, right? And I was aware of Anika Nilles. I believe Geddy pronounced it Anika Nilles. I thought it was Nilles, but I'll go with Geddy's pronunciation. I had seen her in videos of Jeff Beck playing live and was always impressed with her playing. I'm getting way deep into this. I'm not even wading in here now. By the way, I agree with you. I'm excited about this. I have some friends who are very much against all of this, and I respect that. They say Rush, it doesn't exist without Neil Peart. They should call this Geddy and Alex, touring with friends. I respect that opinion. I do not share it. I am so excited about this, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm happier about this than I ever expected I would be. But talking about Anika and just the idea of someone playing drums with Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson playing Rush music, and touring as that, I'm super glad that they did not pick one of the fantastic drummers that we know about, who grew up a fan of Rush, studied Peart's parts, embodied Peart, and made it a part of their career. And I'm talking about people like a Mike Portnoy, right? And or why can't I think of the guy's name that was in Why Not but isn't now anymore? Josh, I think his name's Josh. Oh man, it'll come to me. But there are plenty of drummers out there. Danny Carey might fall into this group-ish. He's not quite there. But the people that are the obvious choice of, if you called them right now, Joel Stevenette is the other one I'm thinking of. He was in Why Not for a hot minute, but he is like, if Rush said we are playing tonight and we aren't going to have a rehearsal, we just need to give you a set list and you got to be able to play it. Like, there are people like that, and Mike Portnoy and Joel Stevenette are two of many in this group that are seasoned, capable, rehearsed on their own, and ready to go. To me, that would have been awkward, I think, Because I've had that thought over the years. Well, it's like, well, Portnoy could join Rush and play these songs, but it'd be like, okay, like he's spent his career emulating Neil and evolving that. Of course, I don't mean to say but it's obvious that that's where he started. And so I'm glad they didn't go that route. I'm glad they picked someone. I have no idea if Anika Nilles is or was a Rush fan. I have no idea if, how she came into their rehearsals. Did she need to rehearse or practice at all, or did she know him? I don't know, because she's never talked about it. There's nothing online one way or the other about it. She's certainly capable of playing Neil Peart parts. My only concern, and it's a curiosity more than a concern, is and this is coming from someone, Neil Peart. I don't think you can see the Neil Peart picture that is like hanging next to my drums right over there. But Neil's always looking at me while I play my drums here in the studio. My kids got me this picture. It's awesome. Neil was the first drummer that I really latched onto in a meaningful way, and therefore the meaning is amplified because his parts, their music, his lyrics, were kind of the bedrock that got me through those awkward teen years that everybody has, right? Mm-hmm. So this, I say this as a curiosity. Anika Nilles has all of the technical ability and more than is required to play Rush songs. That is super obvious. She also has a much deeper groove and feel than Neil Peart ever displayed, and certainly than he ever played with Rush songs. And so I'm curious, even if she were to take a song like, say, The Spirit of Radio, and play it note for note, like if I don't know how her reading chops are, but if she had never heard the song before, you put the sheet music in front of her and say, go, and she played it exactly as written, it's going to sound different than Neil.
Oh, of course.
Like very different. There's going to be a deeper pocket in those grooves in the verse and the chorus. And so I'm curious to see what Rush with Geddy and Alex sounds like with someone with it's got to be at least a slightly different feel.
Absolutely. Yeah. You change one person, it's going to change kind of the whole big picture. And that happens in any band.
In any band. Yeah. Right.